History isn't always found in textbooks or on archive footage. Battles and invasions might tell part of the story of World War II, but the story of the common soldier is often best told by the letters to and from home, like the story of Jack Sanders, a young father and husband from the Midwest. Sergeant Jack Sanders put his hand over his chest pocket, thinking of the letter inside to his wife. A letter that would be sent if he didn't make it home. He'd written it before Guadalcanal, had it while going ashore at Tarawa, and was now headed to Saipan. My dearest Annie, it seems so unfair to only have a few scraps of paper to say everything that I'd planned on telling you during our life together. Like how the first time I saw you, I knew that you were the one, that you will always be my special angel, that you will still be beautiful to me 50 years from now, or how I plan to steal another kiss under our tree. The last part of this letter is for Dottie and Ruth. Please read it to them when they're big enough to understand. I know it will be hard to answer their questions. Tell them that I will always love them with all my heart. My little darlings, someday you'll be able to understand what happened, and maybe you can be proud of me. I know I'll be proud of you, no matter what you do. You'll always be my little girls, even if I can't be there to tuck you in, read you a story, or kiss you goodnight. Annie, I had so many wonderful things in store for our little family. I'm so sorry I'll never get to do them with you. Please know that I feel blessed to have had the time I got with you, and that if my life is cut a little short, it will have been full just having been with you. Yours always, Jack. He reached into his coat and took out the last letter he'd gotten from Annie before his ship left Pearl Harbor. The last time he got mail. My darling Jackie, I know you don't get much time and aren't allowed to say much about where you are or what you're doing. But it's so hard not knowing. I don't care where you are, I just want to be in your arms. Little Ruth is growing up so quickly, she's saying quite a few words now. I'm glad you got to come home and see her, and that she said Daddy before you left. Dottie drew a picture of you with a big heart around it that I saved for you when you get back. Jackie, please stay safe, even though I know that's asking a lot. I don't know how I'd go on if something happened to you. I love you and miss you so terribly. I don't want to have more holidays and birthdays without you. And we have to see Paris together. You promised. He couldn't read anymore. He folded the letter up and tucked it back into his pocket. His ship would be ashore soon now, anyhow. On the afternoon of July 7th, 1944, the enemy, even the wounded, bandaged and unarmed, came pouring at the Marines. In a small hut, Lieutenant Robert Graves copied the bloody letter he'd found in Jack Sanders' pocket and wrote a short letter of his own to Annie Sanders. Dear Mrs. Sanders, by now I'm sure you've gotten that awful telegram and heard the news about Jack. He was the best sergeant in my platoon. The boys all looked up to him. I am deeply sorry for your loss, but thought you ought to know that your husband died bravely, saving many lives. He was a true hero and will be greatly missed. My deepest regrets, First Lieutenant Robert Graves. When Annie Sanders died in 2007, she asked to be buried with Jack's Silver Star and a handful of pictures of her and her precious little girls, one at Yellowstone Park, another at the Statue of Liberty. The back of each one read, Ruth and Dottie, Mom and Dad. The letters that kept the soldiers connected to home amidst the horrible fighting found their way to closets and attics, faded and out of sight, but not discarded, in the same way that those who fought carried the memories of the war with them forever. They left as farmers, mechanics, husbands, sons, and daughters, but they will forever be remembered as heroes.